All right, my man. I want to talk to you about something. I was thinking about asking you. I'm like, I got to ask him this. The fires, we touched on it a little bit. They were starting last week. You and I were talking about it, but they're out of control. Dude, I look around, Zach, and I say to myself, I feel like this is going to be a nightmare for insurance companies. But on top of that, I feel like it's going to change a lot of the way insurance is going to be done in the future.
It certainly should. And I've talked about this. It's interesting because I've got so many thoughts on this topic because the insurance industry, it's funny. I got in a back and forth with somebody about this on Twitter the other day, and they were trying to argue against me, and I was just sitting there going, dude, do you know how many state insurance commission officers we've dealt with? And the insurance industry as a whole it's archaic. Every single state has its own insurance commission. When an insurance company launches an insurance product, are you aware that they have to make, some states have crossover, but effectively they have to make 50 different variations of that one product because each state has slightly different standards, right? It's crazy.
Nuts.
So it is not. It is vestiges of a time gone by, right? Like it's just, you should just have uniform insurance standards. You'd lower costs. And think about that. People are like, why is insurance going up? Well, one of the reasons it's going up is because you have to make 50 different versions of it in every single different state, right? The flip side is, as it relates to LA, I'm heartbroken by the video that I see. I think we all empathize, sympathize. It's awful. Nobody wants to lose a house. And I've heard of people, even on the conservative side of the aisle saying, look, we got to pass laws so insurance companies can't just leave a state like they left California. Let's say a homeowner's been paying money into the insurance company for 15 years, right? Insurance company backs out. They're left high and dry. They can't get insured. And he was making the argument that we should make that illegal, or the insurance company should have to compensate him. And I said to him, I go, man, I am so sympathetic to your view. I'm so sympathetic, and in my heart, I agree with you. But to quote Mr. Barack Obama, elections have consequences.
Yeah.
Right? And you have elected incompetent, ridiculous, and stupid human beings to run your state, and you have let them dominate it for 40 years. I am sorry for what's happened to you. I'm sorry about the fires. But no, we're not going to step in and pass new laws. You made your bed, lie in it. You reelect these people over and over again, and I am tired of the rest of the states and the rest of the constituency around the country having to come into places that are brain dead, like California, and clean up a mess that both they and their politicians damn well knew was coming. And I am sorry. I will cry with you. I'll pray for you. But no, I don't think they should change the insurance rules. This is 100% on the shoulders of the idiots running that state.
It's crazy. Talking to Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer over at Bulwark Capital. We moved from that to TikTok. So we're a couple days away from TikTok being gone. People are freaking out. And from an investment side, look, TikTok is huge. What do you think that thing's worth? Because now you're hearing Elon. Yeah, Trump is supposedly going to sign some sort of executive order, kick it out for 90 days. But I'm sitting there going, he paid $40 billion for Twitter. What the hell do you think TikTok? Because TikTok blows Twitter away size-wise.
Yeah, it's owned by a Chinese company, so we don't have the best look through as far as the fundamentals go. If you're putting the Twitter transaction, Elon bought it for around 40-50 billion. Looking at Meta, my guess is if you were to IPO that thing and roll it out, my guess is you'd probably be somewhere in the $300 to $450 billion range.
Damn.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Video is more engaging than Twitter. It is so big. My daughter and her friends were asking me almost in a panic. Now, my daughter's in 9th grade, and she's now.
It is a topic around my house. My wife asks me every day, do you think they're going to save it? Do you think it's going to be saved?
My daughter doesn't have it because I won't allow it on her phone. But her and her friends were, it's going to. it's really interesting. The thought of Elon buying it, that's been floated, right? The American version of the app. I don't know if you've heard about that, but
Yeah.
there was some discussion about that. I don't, from what I understand, they need to do something. And they need to do something because this is absolutely a Trojan horse into American culture.
It totally is.
Yeah, I mean,
Zach, people think that this is they're going to get all of our data. They've already got all of our data.
Oh God!
For God's sakes.
No. Yeah,
not.
if you have the app, if you have the app on your phone, I mean, it's
any app that has some China. They've got your data. It is into the American culture, which people don't understand. This is getting into the American culture. It is changing the American culture. It is putting things out there that numb the senses and the mind. It is not just about collecting data.
Yeah, no, and people need to understand that if you go look at the version of TikTok in China, it is completely different. It is loaded up with educational information, engineering clips, astronaut clips. They have curated it inside of China to be aspirational and inspirational for their young people.
Very pro-Chinese.
Very pro-Chinese. Mao Zedong was a humanist. Xi Jinping is his sacred holy child, right? Dear leader, and all that stuff. And then you look at the version they roll out to the rest of the world, specifically the United States. It's got backdoor access that's allowed to give them access to more and more of your data and information. They need to do something with it. It is absolutely a Trojan horse. And now what I would be in favor of is either what I'd be in favor of is if China made their companies comply with international law.
That'd be great.
That'd be the easiest solution. But the idea of then an American company buying the American-made version, and then even allowing that the Chinese company could still own shares in that version.
Absolutely.
Not force them out, but just you can't. Look, they chose to design the app that way. They continue to deny the way the app is built. Every really smart tech person I've looked at, it just goes, "Oh, this isn't speculation." Right? Like they're not like saying they could do this. They're like, this app was designed to do this.
Absolutely. 100%.
So I don't know. I would assume it's going to expire on Sunday. But it is a valuable asset, especially here in the United States. And I got to believe that there are interested parties on both sides of this that would prefer it to get resolved in some way. Because nobody makes money for it not operating inside the United States. So I would think something will get done. I have no idea on the timing.
Talking to Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer, Bulwark Capital. So we're into 2025. Trump, Monday, is going to be president. People still worried about inflation. Came out a little bit hotter this week than people realize. You and I were talking about gold mining because, these are the things that people are, it's tech, it's this, that, and the other. There are so many things out there that are real and tangible in the market that people just don't go near or don't know to go near.
Yeah. So funny little anecdotal story, and then I'll get to the gold mining part of it. But really interesting. We were having a conversation, and we were looking at our performance as it relates to last year. And we didn't have a great year. We slightly underperformed the market. But the interesting thing is we were right up there with some of the best performing hedge funds and some of the best performing value funds. Everybody posts their performance, and you got to see where you fare it out. We were really much toward the top of the heap, especially in the active management side, value management side. And we started having a conversation talking about this market going, why is it that we're right up there with some of the best and all of us are still trailing the market? We can't find an active, diversified manager, meaning a guy that isn't taking special positions, right, where 40% of his portfolio is one stock because that's his style or whatever. But I mean, a diversified portfolio, actively managed, we were toward the top of the heap, and yet, and everybody was right in that ballpark, and it spurred a conversation, and we realized something. When we talk about how crazy this market is, check this out. This market has gotten so crazy that it has actually made it increasingly hard for active managers to keep up. Not because they're not as smart as the market, but because they have rules and bylaws in their funds that won't allow the single position concentration that the index itself has.
Yeah.
And that probably doesn't sound like a big deal to people. That's insane. That's never been the case, right? You've never been able to say, usually if you look at the allocation of any given diversified stock index, your first thought is, well, I need bigger position sizing than that, right? Yeah, that's a great company, which is why I don't want to own 2.5% of it. We've gone so far the other way, and the companies that are at the top of the index have been there so long that you got a company like NVIDIA that's a 7% weighting in the S&P 500, and it's trading at 25 times revenue, right? Until this fever breaks, and we just started laughing because we went, no wonder we're all underperforming the market. We can't. So literally, the stock market, the S&P 500, is too irresponsibly composed at present for us to even emulate it. And I was sitting there going, there's no way I could look my client straight in the face and justify to them that the biggest single position, that's 7% of their portfolio, is a stock trading at 25 times sales. It's just madness.
It's all the eggs in one basket kind of folks.
It totally is. And you don't have an index fund. You do not own the market. You own. You have a tech fund. Full stop. Yeah. That fund will go where tech goes, period. Okay, and then you look at the Mag 7. The Mag 7 at the top of the index, trading together is trading at, excuse me. The I think it's the NASDAQ 100. I think the NASDAQ 100 is trading at 10 times revenue, right? So now for an opposite argument, okay, so now think in your mind here, folks, 10 times revenue. The NASDAQ, I think it's either the NASDAQ 100, Meg 7's way above that, but I think it's the NASDAQ 100. So NASDAQ 100 is trading at 10x revenue. The average gold mining company right now is trading at 4 times free cash flow. 4 times free cash flow. Cleanest balance sheets they've ever had. Less debt than the sector's had since we can go back and look at it. Margins, a lot of these companies are running 35 to 50% margins. Some higher than that. And I'm not saying they're tech companies, but 4 times free cash flow, and that cash flow is rapidly climbing. And people are like, no, that's no good. I want 10 times revenue stuff.
Because you know why? Because it's the same thing as when I was trading commodities. Dude, would you rather make $1 million being an expert in trading corn, or would you rather lose all your money because you want to be cool and trade currencies that you know nothing about? It's what is that about? People want sexy.
Right. Why is, and this is maybe I guess at some points maybe this has been a disadvantage to what I do for a living. I've never understood that. And the reason I've never understood it is the thing that gives me the biggest kick in investing is making money off of a horrible, like finding a company that isn't that great. Like, I don't know why, but it's
they run great, but they're not sexy, right?
Yeah.
We make toothpicks. We're better than anybody in the world. We have it down pat. We always turn a profit, and we're going to make you guys money. You're going to get dividends. Life's going to be good. But that's 100%. Not trading, something spectacular that's sexy.
It's not playing the game, right? So I've always gotten such a kick out of it because it was one of the things that drew me to investing, the fascination of being able to get something that everybody else is thrown on a trash heap and make 5 extra money because everybody else was just looking right past it. And that's what led us to Bed Bath and Beyond. We bought it at between $3.50 and $4. Rode it to 38, GameStop, and that's the stuff I love. So I've never really understood that. But you're 100% right. The average person would rather go broke trading crypto than average 13% a year in a value-based portfolio that pays dividends.
Because just like gambling and stuff like that, the reality is it's about telling a story to their friends and their families as much as it's about winning.
Yep. And I get clients all the time. They're like, Zach, our friends made all this money. And I go, okay, now go ask them about their losers, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? They go, buddy, listen, he made that on that stock. Go look at the rest of the portfolio, right? People only ever tell you about their winners, right? It's like they say, people talking about their portfolios like them talking about their kids. They're going to tell you about the 28-point game that he had. They're not going to tell you when he slipped on his socks coming down the stairs and did a header, right? Like, they're not going to tell you when he got caught at school with a bag of dope.
It's like Vegas. Dude won $3 million last weekend. Yeah, but he lost $27 million for the last 9 months.
Right, but all those are going to tell you about is the $3 million. Yeah. They're gonna. The story coming out of Vegas is he won $3 million, right?
Yeah. So it's great. So people want to reach out to you. They want to get that risk review, that little because you got a webinar stuff coming up. But what do they do?
Yeah, give us a call, or best way to get get a hold of us is bulwarkcapitalmanagement.com, knowyourriskradio.com. We do our daily show, the Daily Dots, summation of everything that went on economically and politically, if it had to do with economics, every single day. Try to do about a 30-minute summary of the news on the day. But yeah, bulwarkcapitalmanagement.com, knowyourriskradio.com. We're not hard to find, man.
Right on, brother. You have yourself a good day and weekend, and we'll do it again next week.
All right, sounds good, Chad. Have a good one.
Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions expressed in this program are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security. Any references to performance of securities are thought to be materially accurate, and actual performance may differ. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 24308.